welcome back to another TKW livestream. My name is Kenny, and welcome back. It's been a while since we've done a live stream, but it does mean that we do have severe weather back on the table. You guys heard it correctly. You can see right on the screen here, all hazards of severe weather are possible tomorrow and only Friday. We did get a risk upgrade for Friday, so of course, we'll let you know everything you need to know and what to expect coming up in this live stream. This video is sponsored by Kyle at Loose Views Mazda. Make sure you go check him out today. He does have $500 off all new vehicles. Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? Glad to see you guys here. Looks like we got a couple people in the chat. And we are back, everyone, because we do have severe weather for 2 days, actually. And there is, I will let you guys know, I will be honest up front, there is some good news for some folks, but there is some bad news for the other folks. So, welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? Glad to see you guys here. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to let you know, like I said in the intro, we're going to let you know everything that you need to know about this system because there's a lot of talk about what to expect. The phone apps are showing one thing, the weather's talking about the other thing. So we're just going to give you the honest forecast and we'll actually let you know if it's actually going to be pretty bad. So once again, welcome everybody. I see everybody's tuning in here. We'll let you guys pop in real quick. Thank you so much for the donation, Mom. I really do appreciate that. Welcome everybody. I see you guys are hopping in here. So I'm just going to get started here because we have a lot to cover here. And so we'll go over the weather outlooks, like the risk outlooks, and then we'll go over the future radar of what we can expect and just break down everything that we need to know. So first thing I do want to show you on the screen here is, let me get this out of the way. Get this over here. Okay, so do want to show you guys that we do have, this is the severe weather risk for Thursday. So you can see not everybody's in the risk area. So if you're in like, what's that, Franklin County, you're good. Warren County's good, Lincoln County's good, and St. Charles County is good for the Thursday threat. So the Thursday threat, we do have a marginal threat in the light green here. This is for basically some isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible. So most of the area basically east of St. Charles and Franklin County is in a marginal risk. And a very few small folks and our Illinois side off into the yellow box here. This is a 2 out of 5 on a severe weather scale. And basically all that means is that there is more of a scattered threat of severe weather. So the Thursday threat, as of right now, we are in most of the area. If you don't see yourself in a light green or a yellow, you're in the clear. So like I said, Warren County, Lincoln County, Franklin County is all good, and St. Charles County is all good for Thursday. You don't have to worry about Thursday, so don't worry about that. But now if you're in like Jefferson County, St. Louis County, and parts of, what's that, Madison County, and St. Clair and Monroe, we have to be a little bit on alert because we do have severe weather potential, and we'll show you just that of what we're expecting. But I just wanted to go over that real quickly, that most of the area is either clear or has a 1 out of 5 to 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That's for Thursday. Now, we do have a threat for Friday, and I want you guys to pay attention here. This is the main day for Friday because this actually got updated at 2 o'clock today. So that means that they're usually pretty confident that the severe weather is going to be happening. So I do want to bring that to your attention here. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Alrighty, so let's go over the colors because it probably looks like a whole lot is going on here. And so let's just start off. Yellow out of 5. The folks in the yellow out of 5 is basically Franklin County, Warren County, Lincoln County over in New Jersey, and St. Charles County. That is a slight risk. That means scattered severe thunderstorms are going to be possible on Friday. So make sure you're aware of that. And then also as well, most of the area, most of our falling base here, like St. Louis County, Jefferson County, down near Potosi, a little bit far east of Franklin County, and everywhere in Illinois besides Jersey, is and the 3 out of 5. Now, 3 out of 5 means that we're looking at an enhanced severe weather. That means that we're guaranteed to see some severe weather. So you don't really want to see a 3 out of 5 on any severe weather graphic, but like I said, we do have an enhanced severe weather threat that we really need to be looking out for. And I think it's a little bit concerning, so we'll show you the radar in just a second. But that is the severe weather breakdown. And of course, we do, real quickly, just want to go over the risk, basically, for, let's go here. Alright, so I do want to go over the risk real quickly for each one. Now, the tornado threat, I'll just be honest, the tornado threat is going to be low, but it's going to be elevated for far eastern St. Clair County and a little bit of Monroe close to Red Butte. So, wouldn't be too worried about that, but the main severe weather risks will be for Friday, and we'll show you that and right now actually. So if you guys are just tuned in, we're going over the radar, the future radar. We're going to break down everything that you need to know, and we'll give you the honest forecast, because honestly the risk is, whatever. You guys want to know exactly what's happening. So let's show you exactly what's happening. Mom, I appreciate the donation. She says, great job, keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Alrighty, so here is the future radar. The time, you can't really see the time, so I'll walk you through it together. Let's see if we can get this over. Okay. There we go. So you guys can't see it, but I'll walk you through it. So we're going through Wednesday. So Wednesday, it's not a problem. We'll be okay. Thursday, most of the day on Thursday, everybody. We just had to fast forward. Most of the day on Thursday will be clear. You can see we're going all the way through Thursday. Nothing to worry about here on Thursday. Maybe some isolated showers around the 11 o'clock hour. That will not be why we have the severe weather threat. But let's fast forward a little bit towards the afternoon and evening time now. Pay attention here, folks, because we're at 4 o'clock here. And you see these storms that are starting to fire up around like the Potosi and Jefferson County area. This, in my opinion, will be the area where severe weather could be produced. So the storms are going to form around the Potosi and most of Jefferson County area. I don't think they'll be severe at the moment, but once they get off to the east and to Illinois, right over here, right over in St. Clair County and Monroe, and a little bit of Madison County, this is where the tornado threat will be. Now, I think we can at least have a tornado or two. So if you're in the Potosi area or the Festus area and anywhere in Jefferson County, I would be on alert just in case that the storms start a little bit off to the west. I would be a little bit concerned, but most of the folks, especially if you know anybody in Illinois, especially Monroe and St. Clair County, I do believe that we'll probably most likely see a tornado on Thursday. And this is Thursday at 5 p.m., by the way, if I haven't mentioned that. So if you're driving home to Illinois, the Monroe or St. Clair County area, definitely want to be on alert, especially if you live in like Waterloo or Belleville, places like those, and Columbia. We'll have the heightened tornado threat. I really do believe that we will have something down in there. So we'll most likely be live tomorrow. So make sure you're watching out for that, because we'll probably have to be live for the tornado threat. But it doesn't only end there. So you can see the storms go away, but then we have another round of storms. Now, listen up, folks. There's going to be 2 rounds the model is printing out at this point. It looks like we have a tornado warning in Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay. So these storms as well will have a potential, once again, the same exact spots. If you're in Illinois, don't be in Illinois if you can't. If you can tomorrow, because it's not going to be a very good place. But around that 8 o'clock hour, we could have another chance of seeing an isolated tornado or two. But like I said, the main threat will be in the Monroe, St. Clair, and Madison County, Illinois, for any particular severe weather event / tornado risk. If there was a tornado, I would probably mark it. If you guys want my honest opinion, if there was going to be a tornado, it will probably be somewhere in this area. So like Columbia, Belleville, Waterloo, places like those, there's probably going to be at least something dropping down in my honest opinion. Now, Potosi and the Jefferson County areas, like I said before, you're probably just going to be getting like the beginning. So you might see a little hail, you might see a little wind, but I think you guys will be just fine. So that will go all the way till about 10 p.m. and you can see that moves out and will be just fine. So like I said, the evening threat around the 5 to 10 p.m. will probably be the most likely threat for that. But I do want to give a quick demonstration before we get to Friday. So in the atmosphere, on Thursday, there's going to be a cap in place. Now, cap in place will do a demonstration. If you don't know what a cap is and you hear everybody talk about a cap is where you have warm air right here. This is warm air up in the atmosphere about 10,000 feet. So 10K, horrible writing, but about 10,000 feet you have warm air up above. Now, when storms form, storms rise. So as they go up, they start to build intensity, and that's how we can get strong storms. But there will be a cap in place. So as storms are trying to form, they're going to run into this barrier. And once they hit the barrier, the only other place to go is down. So that could be a limiting factor to prevent these severe storms. But models have been trending upwards, at least on the Illinois side, that we could see it develop where the cap basically won't stop it at this point. So that's one thing that we just need to keep an eye out. That will be one of the limiting factors of why only part of us see the severe weather. But I do think anywhere in Illinois, we will be live covering a severe weather event. I do think we'll see severe weather. Hello everybody, glad to see you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. Now the big day. Now, I will be honest, I was not really too crazy about Friday until the models decide to like take a drink and go crazy. So let's go into Friday here. So you see the storms are building up, and I want you guys to take a look. This is probably the most concerning day out of all of them, so make sure you guys are paying attention. So right now you're looking at 1 p.m. The storms are not in our area at the moment, which is good. But once we get into 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, this line down here, you can see down here near Rolla, going into the Potosi and southern Franklin County, that's where the severe risk will be. Excuse me. The severe risk will start, and I think it'll mostly continue to stay down there as well. You can see it doesn't look all too impressive at the beginning around 4 p.m. here, but if we see any severe thunderstorms, this is where we can see the tornado potential, and as well as the hail and wind threat. Now, the hail is going to be up to like baseball, so if you missed out on the Cardinals game, you'll see a repeat of it on Friday, so don't worry about that. But damaging winds and hail, once again, is going to be on the evening commute going into Friday around 5 p.m., 4 or 5 p.m., and it's not going to be around that long until about 7. So 4 to 7 is where we can see the severe storms as well. So that's just a basic overview, but I want to go back here and show you something. You see how, I don't know if you guys can see it real quickly, but you see how on the screen here we have these small little yellow dots there? That indicates some independent supercells, discrete as we call them in the weather world. And basically what happens with those, if they can stay by themselves with the atmosphere and conditions that we have, we could see some tornadoes out in front of this if they can try to be discrete. Now, we're not really expecting anything tornado-wise if they form a line like this. It's going to be more of a damaging wind and hail threat, but if we get any storms that look like this, it's not going to happen up there. But if we get any storms that look like this on Friday, we are not going to be in good shape. So I want to let you guys know that we won't be in good shape if that happens. But at least at the newest data, it does show that we will have some wind and hail. Yeah. Even like the sounding that we pulled here, it is just only showing a severe weather threat, not really seeing any tornado threat. So let's hopefully it stays like that, because that would be very nice. So that is what we're expecting for Friday. I'll show you another model that is just a little bit on the crazy side, but most of it, besides, I would say probably, let's see, if you're anywhere like south of like US 50, like the 44 area going into like 270, so that will probably be the severe weather threat. So anywhere that you see this line is where the severe weather is going to be. Now you see all the storms up there, don't worry about that. That won't be nothing like that. The blue circle's distracting. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about the blue circle. It just shows that the camera is loading. So, sorry about that. But basically, everyone, Friday could be the big day. But you can see, in my honest opinion, I think we're more looking at a wind and hail threat for Friday. In my honest opinion, the tornado potential is, of course, there. But with them all being in a line like this, which we like to see, it's really going to be hard to produce damaging winds and tornadoes. So, I mean, tornadoes. Damaging winds and hail will be the main concern for Friday, beginning around 3 p.m. So, basically a southern threat, Jefferson County, anywhere south of I-44, basically from about 3 to 6 p.m. will probably be the most likely severe weather threat with the Friday event. It's not going to be very long, because how it looks like, in my opinion, it's just going to be a line that moves in around 4 o'clock and then the scoots on the way out at around 6 o'clock. But we'll take a look at the other computer model that we have here. And while it's loading, basically, if you want a rundown of the forecast, basically Thursday, if you're in Illinois or Potosi or Jefferson County, need to be on the lookout. Basically means you need to pay attention to the weather, pay attention to the weather page. If you're in Potosi, anywhere down there, or Jefferson County, and Monroe and St. Clair County for Thursday. And then Friday, once again, is a southern threat, but let's hope it's in a line. So, because if we look at this model, you can see here Thursday shows a little bit different. Let's see. Yeah, this model for Thursday shows absolutely nothing, which means that cap is in place, which that warm air aloft preventing storms from popping up. That's what the model thinks. So it's kind of like 50-50, but I think we will see a few storms pop up. And then as we go into Friday here, this is looking at Friday, you can see most of the storms. This actually has it a little bit more south here. But you see, let's get the model going. Okay, let's hold it right there. This line of storms, that's going to be the severe weather threat. So at the very bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that is where the severe weather threat will be. Now, we have this isolated thunderstorm that just popped up. We're going to take a peek at it. Don't worry about it, folks. It's algebra. Oh, okay. Okay, this is new. So you're probably wondering, like, what is this? It's a lot of lines. Especially this shows information. And we'll go over this real quickly. And if you want to know why I say why, this is why I say why. So, looking at the screen, you have a couple of things. You have this area, you have this area, you have this area, and you have all these numbers down here. So we're going to break it down real quickly. Deep analysis, quick analysis, and it's going to be first grade level. So, basically, this area on the right side where I have my pin, we have curvature there. And basically, you want curvature right there because it means that the weather balloon is going up. As it gets to a certain point, it starts spinning. That means we're going to have spin in the atmosphere that could be favorable for tornadoes. So, tornado box, check. We could probably see a tornado. That's why the box down here says tornado possible type. Also, anytime that you have tornadoes, ooh, voice crack. Anytime that you have tornadoes, you always need wind direction with height. So you can see wind at the surface direction is different as we go up into the atmosphere. So we do have some vertical wind profiles that are showing some atmospheric spinning that can favor some tornadoes. Once again, that's why we have the tornado possible hazard type as well. So that is some things that we look at here as well. And I want to know if it scoots it over. Okay. You guys might not be able to see it, but we do have our boxes down here. And basically these numbers need to be above 1,500 or more, the favorable severe weather. And we are currently looking at the 4,000s. Now that is a little bit extreme, but it just shows that the atmosphere, if it works, it is primed for some supercells. So it's definitely something to watch and we need to be concerned about. I think Friday, out of all days, I think we need to be the most concerned about, in my opinion. That's a nice teaching. Karen says, hopefully we won't see much severe weather, but we'll be watching. Thanks, Kenny. Yes, we do plan to be live both days, Thursday and Friday, to provide weather live streams and coverage. So make sure you guys let everybody know. But like I said before, out of all the days, Thursday is iffy. Okay, so Thursday will be okay. Oh, I appreciate that comment. And always reliable. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, John. But like I said, Thursday, it's a big if, especially if you're in Illinois Potosi, because we have that cap. So let's fingers crossed that we have the cap, that warm air that doesn't prevent storms. So hopefully we have that because we need that. If not, then unfortunately the tornado risk will be in the Monroe area right here, that we could possibly see a tornado. So the fastest and these areas will be in the development zone. Illinois will be where we could probably see at least one if the cap does break. So it's very big if, conditional risk for Thursday, but I think we have a little bit more confidence for the threat on Friday. But this is interesting because this just did pop up on the 18 run, if you guys follow the weather models. But this does pop up, and this could favorable a tornado or two, and it's going right through St. Charles County. So basically the point that I'm saying is on Friday, I think we all need to be on alert, especially because of the outlook here. You don't really see these too much with confidence, especially a couple days out. But like I said, 3 out of 5, 2, and 1. So anywhere that you go, there is going to be severe weather risk, and that's why I want to let you guys know that no matter where, definitely Friday is going to be a severe weather risk. Is there such thing as a weather alert day? That's just what the TV uses. There's no like official branding by the National Weather Service, but would I say it's a weather alert day for Friday? Yeah. But for Thursday, maybe. But Friday, I think so. But we really just have to watch the morning data tomorrow, the morning and evening data tomorrow, and we'll have to watch the data, of course, the event of. But I think Friday we are going to be seeing something, but it's your classic summertime pattern. So not, unfortunately, everybody's going to see something, but the area is favorable. Everybody is favorable for a severe storm, but exactly where and the intensity will be the big question. But we can get an idea that mainly the storms are going to form around the afternoon hour on Friday and scoot its way off very quickly on Friday as well. So that is the Friday's forecast. And Thursdays, like I said, this model here for Thursday, it's not really showing too much. You can see just a little bit of blips are showing up, which means there's a cap in place, which limits storms, but our other model shows that we could get a few storms. So Thursday we'll be monitoring, most likely will be going live, so make sure you guys get excited because you guys will see me on the live stream. But yes, I do believe we'll probably be live Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday as well. Will you guys, the couple people that are here that are watching, will you guys like another update on tomorrow about the Friday's event? Or will you guys prefer video? Let me know in the chat. I'm okay with doing both. I know you guys like me talking. I know you guys like looking at me. So, a couple people that are in here, let me know if you guys want me to go live for an update for Friday's event. Because personally, I think Friday, there's more to talk about than Thursday, in my opinion. So, there's been talks about severe weather next week. What is your opinions? Haven't got there yet. But it does look like there is a couple of rounds like later in the week, like Wednesday. But we have to get through these first. And it's Wednesday today, so it's a little bit too far out to really forecast. Main thing is like 5 days out, max. 3 days out is the best, is when it comes to severe weather. Just because you need to know like low pressure systems, the intensity, the atmosphere conditions, basically stuff like that. But I want to see if this shows anything on here. Yeah. So if you guys want to know, let's see, the couple people that are here. If you guys want to know what a cap looks like, it's this. You see how like squiggly, nothing really concerned there, but see how this points out to the left? That's where the dry air cuts it off, basically. So that's what a cap looks like visually on a hodograph. This is called a hodograph, if you guys aren't familiar with it. Basically, if you randomly send up a weather balloon and you got data of what the storm's going to be like, future data, and it prints it out on a computer, that's basically what this is. Does anybody have any questions or comments about Friday's or tomorrow's event? I know most of us live around the St. Charles, St. Louis County area. I think we'll be okay. We just have to watch Friday because the models are a little bit crazy, in my opinion. And I just want to look. Let's see. Karen says, of course we like looking at you. You get your good looks from your mom. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what everybody says. Yes, everybody. You guys always send me nice comments. Say you guys enjoy looking at me. So I really do appreciate that. And you guys just like hearing my voice. So. But like I said, I'll go over one more time the outlook here. So Thursday's event. Like I said, most of us on Thursday, most of us tomorrow, can go to sleep at ease tonight, knowing that Thursday will be just fine. This light green, honestly, I don't see it being upgraded anytime soon or being upgraded by tomorrow's event unless there's more confidence that the cap will break. But like I said, most of us is in a 1 out of 500 severe weather scale. We're not expecting full-blown severe weather outbreak, life-threatening severe weather. So that is something just to make aware of, that we're not going to see any dangerous outbreaks, EF5 tornadoes. We're not going to see that on Thursday. Other parts of the area will, but not everyone or not anyone near us will see that type of weather. Small tornado potential, like I said, for the Illinois side, but that's just in case of that cap break. So we'll be monitoring that as well. And as we go into Friday, like I said, everybody, Friday's the big day of all severe weather days. Most likely we'll be live as early as we can, if possible, depending on how fast I can drive back from Springfield. But we'll most likely be live. You guys don't have to worry about that. And like I said, 3 out of 5 for areas along 44. Areas along 44, all St. Louis County and City, going up into Madison County and Macoupin County. Anywhere here, it's all in a 3 out of 5 for severe weather. And then Everybody else is 2 out of 5. So Franklin County, Warren County, and Lincoln County, 2 out of 5 of the severe weather scale. Basically, severe weather will be possible, but it'll be isolated to scattered. And then enhanced means that we're guaranteed to see some type of severe weather, but it's starting to trend into a hail and wind threat. So let's hope that stays the same. And of course, we'll bring more updates tomorrow as well. So make sure you're watching out for those, and make sure you're sharing those with your folks so they are weather aware for Friday and for tomorrow as well. But we'll probably most likely be live tomorrow evening around like 4ish, and Friday afternoon as early as I can pop on. So that is the breakdown. Like I said, Thursday, once again, Thursday will be okay. I think everybody will be just fine. We'll be monitoring it. And then Friday, you might want to set the bar a little high on the severe weather scale, because a little bit more elevated for the severe weather potential. So, but of course, you have your accurate and reliable weatherman here. He'll keep you updated, and he'll keep you prepared and ahead of the storms for Friday. So if anybody has any more questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the chat. If not, I think we're going to wrap it up. We'll probably have a video update tomorrow evening as well. Of course, a morning update too of what the models are saying, but most likely an evening update, maybe a live stream if things trend upward for Friday, which not really seeing that happening, but it is possible. But most likely weather video for on Thursday, tomorrow for Friday, and then probably live streams if needed on Thursday and most likely on Friday. So that is that. So 2 severe weather days, technically only 1 in my opinion, which is Friday. Thursday, you can count it, but Friday, I believe, is the big day, especially if you're on the east side of 44 or east of, let's say, 270 will be the spot. So that is that. If you guys don't have any more questions, I think we're going to wrap it up for the evening. And we'll continue to provide updates and videos as new information comes in. John says, you're always my go-to guy. Hey, John, I really do appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you for that nice comment. I really do appreciate that. Alrighty, if nobody has any more questions, comments, concerns, I think we'll see you guys most likely tomorrow. So have a good night. Make sure you're watching out for the updates. Make sure to share the post. I really do appreciate it. And it helps your people know to stay weather aware and what to expect for the upcoming severe weather. So without further ado, we're going to wrap up the live stream. We're going to jam out with the outro. Can't talk. And we'll see you Thursday and Friday most likely. Have a good night.